What's good, my roadies? Randy, the REI Rockstar here. I've got a great video for you. I'm going to show you my last deal, or one of the last deals we did in the month of September, start to finish. Literally, where I got the lead, how I analyzed the deal, what I said to the seller, how I renegotiated the deal about maybe a quarter, 50% of the way through, and how I closed it. And I'll show you exactly what that's going to be here. Let's get right into it. If you don't already know about me, check out the blog. It's free. It's the reirockstar.com. There you'll have some free tools you can get into, even a free contract and some other free stuff in that gig bag. Digital gig bag, by the way. It's not a physical gig bag. We're not going to mail you anything. Just download it and get started flipping houses, making money. By the way, if along the way, I'm going to show you some of the tools that I use in the business. Some of you who follow my channel might already be aware of most of these. But if you're new, I'm going to place those underneath the description in YouTube or wherever you're watching this so that you can actually go and get these tools that I use in my business. So it'll help you out. So let's have a look at first this REI workflow here. Let me open up my business folder. What you're seeing here, by the way, let me back up couple times. My entire real estate business fits in these folders here. Everything from the HR legal department to management and marketing, everything since 2008 till today is all here. Now, the one that we use mostly as a team is the properties folder. So this is one of the first tools I'll share with you under the video if you like to have these folders and how I organize the business, how I don't lose contracts, how I stay on track, start to finish with the assembly line and with respect to houses. This is how I'm able to do it. I'm underwriting houses very quickly. I'm placing them under contract, opening up titles, shopping for the buyers, or raising private money, whatever it may be, because of these folders. So let's get right into this folder here. It's 2020, and let's have a look at completed deals, sold, and it's Flower. All right, so here's Flower Street. Let me open this up a little bit for you. All right, so due diligence starts first on every single deal, guys. Now, if we open up the due diligence folder, we've got the roof warranty and the termite, right? But you're probably wondering, hey, where did I get this deal? Where exactly did I get this deal from? I got this deal from Craigslist. Yeah, Craigslist, right? You millennials know OfferUp and these apps that allow you to sell back and forth. Well, us Gen Xers, we used Craigslist for so long, and it's died out quite a bit, but I still get deals there. In fact, I had a product that I discontinued called 36 REI Lead Hacks. It's no longer relevant because there's nobody on that site anymore relative to what it used to be. And so what I've done now is I've had to change my parameters, no longer look for motivated sellers. I just have it on a trigger so that anytime somebody posts, automatically the deal comes to me. So you can check out Craigslist.org and you can see that, this is it, right? So I basically have a trigger for the for sale by owners. It's in the real estate area, for sale here. You can see real estate for sale. And I set up all these triggers on the type of house that I want, and they come every day. Usually like 1 to 3 a day. Sometimes it's just one, but they still come in. And what that does is it helps me sift through, say, 2,000 postings a month down to just 30 or 40 solid leads on the for sale by owners, where they're not lease option, they're not rentals, they're not realtors looking for a retail buyer. These are just typically for sale by owners. Sometimes they don't have the emails, sometimes they don't have the phone numbers, but I get them. My VA gets them, and we call them. Here's how we do it. When we get it, we send them a text message and a pre-made email, right? So that text message says something to the effect of, hey, is XYZ street still available? I'd like to make an offer. Something very short. We don't want to overwhelm the seller. Less is more. So we send them a quick text, and we also send them an email. Sometimes that email can be a little hidden in Craigslist, but there's a way to get it. And once you get it, you hit them up both ways. Now you continue that as those deals are coming in, and you can work on your other bandit sign deals and other types of marketing that's been out there. And eventually somebody's going to respond. And that's what happened with this deal here. So let me set up this deal for you. Basically what it was this particular seller. When I say seller, by the way, this was like a S2. I label it an S2, meaning it's a family member of the owner. So seller number 2 was posting for her cousin. Her cousin's sibling was a hoarder for many, many years living in this address. And eventually they placed her into some type of home or mental institution to help her get some help. And hopefully she's getting rehabilitated. But her, say, cousin who lives out in the East Valley was listing it for her and helping her find a buyer. She actually used to hold a real estate license. She said, "You know what? I know what the property's worth. Let me help you out." So we get the deal, and I reach out to this seller, and you can see here right away, I was able to get the roof warranty, the termite warranty on the property. I underwrote the file completely, found out what it was worth, found out what the situation was, that basically they were looking to liquidate. The home had some renovation repairs that were needed, but they had spent like literally 6 months cleaning out this residence and getting it up to par the best they could so it could be listed for sale. They did not want to list and sell with a realtor, by the way. So for that reason, they were going the route of selling to an investor, somebody with cash, so it'd be a fast transaction. So with respect to that, let's pull up this sales here. I want to show you something unique about this property, guys. Here's the tool number 2 here. REI AutoComp is my software program. What this does is it allows me live on the phone with the seller to pull comparable sales and have an idea of what the house is worth today, what the house will be worth eventually after repair value, and it allows me to come up with a pretty good soft pass to tell them exactly where I'm going to be at. Now, here's a challenge with this property. This particular property was, I mean, a 2-bedroom with a den in a neighborhood where it's called Garden Lakes, by the way, in a neighborhood where most of these properties are 1,800 to 2,800 square foot, 2-story, and a pool. So this is a very small house with no pool, no 2 stories. It's literally the smallest in the neighborhood. I could not even find something as small as 1,321 square foot and 2-bedroom. So this could be a challenge with sellers because a lot of times they see all these other comparable sales and they're like, "Whoa, my house is worth 350,000." No, it's not. So here's the analysis I did on the 2-bedroom house. And right away, being an established investor, I thought to myself, "Hey, I could definitely get this house to be a 3-bedroom pretty easily by taking that den, uh, adjusting the doorway if need be, and adding a closet." So you can see here, as a 2-bedroom, we believe the property, using the comp score, to be worth about 237,000. The asking price, if I remember correctly, I'll see if I can find the original ad here, but the asking price was much, much different than that. That asking price was something like, I want to say she wanted 245, 255, something like that. So when I saw the 237, I'm going, okay, typical Zillow, Craigslist, for sale by owner. They're way out in left field on Mars about the value of the house. And I get it. They're trying to get the best they can, so they have some room to negotiate. They understand that some people are going to lowball them, but that means nothing. The list price means nothing. What matters is comparable sales. So there's a few things I looked at here. I looked at the homogeny of the deal. In other words, again, our property, least amount of bedrooms, least amount of bathrooms here. Actually, we have a little bit more bathrooms here. And then pretty typical on the square footage. And then in terms of the lot size and year built, there was some differences there as well. Now we got lucky on the square footage, by the way. I know I mentioned to you earlier, most of them were 1,800. I deleted a lot of those bigger properties because this report was so different and thrown off by those large deals. And it was so difficult to do because there was no other 2 bedrooms. I mean, literally everything else was like a 3-2. In fact, I'll show you in a minute here some more of the details here, but it'll show you that all of these properties were much larger. So here was the challenge. Now I'm stuck with, okay, I'm not too confident on this after repair value because I'm borrowing square footage from larger houses. And based on this, I'm going to have to be at 210,000, which, they may or may not accept. So especially with this soft pass here being 198, 198,000, it just wasn't going too well. So what I did is I reran a report at a 3-bedroom. In fact, I helped one of my really good friends out in the East Coast help me out. And it was a really good training for him because I was able to show him, hey, look, I'm not even done with this deal yet, but let's run this software. You have a copy of it. Let's see what it's going to be worth together. So it ended up being a really good training. So once we ran it as a 3, look at this, so much better, these colors here. If you rewind the video, before it was yellow and red, now we're in the green. We ran it as a 3 bedroom. This house could be worth 248 in current market value and 260,000, fully fixed up. We're 88% sure of that. And so what I did was I went ahead and booked the appointment. You can see this is a solid neighborhood. There was a little bit of a dip due to COVID here, but otherwise pretty solid. And the price per square foot was very solid as well. So that's how I analyzed the property. I was able to come up with an offer. I figured I'd be somewhere between 205 to 215, and I would try my best to sell it for 215 to 220, right? So next step here, I did my due diligence. I had my contractor head out there, get a repair estimate. And on the buy side, I was able to execute a contract, right? A signed contract on the buy side with the seller. Originally, the original offer was 200 and I believe $12,000. $212,000. So I want to show you something here. And that is that when you look at the condition of the property, look at the pics here. This particular property needed some work, had some things that needed to be done. In fact, when I Googled it and looked it up online, there was some fire damage or something going on with the roof there that kind of made me nervous. But I'll open up these photos here so you can take a look at the neighborhood and the type of property we're dealing with. So this is a good training for this purpose as well, guys. I always get a picture of the neighborhood. So this is looking eastbound. This is looking westbound. And there's the house there. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the repairs. So this, I believe, was inside, and I'm looking up in the den. This was damage to the roof. The seller let me know, in this case S2, the cousin was letting me know, hey, I'm here for my cousin. Yes, there was damage to the roof due to a leak, but we've addressed it and I have proof it's already good to go. Contractor did a great job. Since there was a hoarder, guys, they had to rip out the carpet, which helps us out. There was already no carpet in the property. There's some cracks in the wall there, but otherwise, some of the house had some things that we could keep, such as the tile in the bathroom. I did confirm, by the way, that there were certain things that they were not going to take. For example, this large deal in the background here for the china, they just didn't have the man muscle to take it. So they said, is it okay if we leave it? I said, absolutely. They disclosed to us that there was some termite damage that was remediated. Hence, again, why I got the due diligence squared away in the termite warranty. It's right here. Plus that the roof was done on the roof warranty. Okay, so she's being honest. She's disclosing everything. The house was pretty much empty, but there's a big concern here, guys. Let's make it into the master bedroom. Here's the laundry room. Check out this beautiful crack for foundation settling. I mean, you could fit 4 pennies in here. This crack actually goes through the entire master and goes out into the backyard as well. And so that was a big, big concern. Okay, so next up we have the bathroom and a crack going down this way. This is right above the doorway, and there's more of a crack there. And there we go. So that's pretty much the entire house. Oh, and she also let us know there was a leak that was already addressed, but they ended up not spackling this here. So with all that said, I figured repairs to be somewhere around $14,000, repairs and slight renovation. Each property is different. Guys, I cannot stress to you how much this is so important that every buyer and investor is different. Some buyers see that and go, well, I'm going to have to do all this sort of stuff and I want to, dress it up quite a bit to get that 260, maybe 270 mark. So they're just going to renovate everything. There's a difference between renovation and repairs. So with just repairs, you're looking at, I mean, maybe $3,000-$4,000, maybe in terms of repairs. Definitely put some flooring in there. You can get cheap flooring. But if you wanted to do it right and actually do a rehab where that's going to be listed in place for sale, and homeowners are going to appreciate the work you did, you're going to spend about $14,000. So what I ended up doing is I placed it under contract for $212,500. Okay, and I opened up title, This is all the title information the title company sends back, the prelim, the alt-a, things like that, the policy that says that, hey, if some random family member has a claim against the property, that'll be covered by the insurance, the title insurance. Title comes back clean, and I immediately start marketing the property for a buyer. Now, I can take properties in two ways. I could take them down myself, bringing in gap funding, private lending, private money, or if I have another buyer that just wants to purchase it slightly higher than myself, I can do an exit strategy of an assignment. And that's what I chose here because I really just didn't want to deal with that foundation. So I sent one text message. I sent an email blast and a text message blast to all buyers, but um, the text message blast got a pretty good response. And one of the first folks who got back to me was a new buyer. Now, when that buyer came in, um, I actually, when that buyer came in, I actually had not worked with that buyer before. So, a quick tip here, I was able to get proof of funds, which was the hard money letter and a bank statement showing funds available of well over $50,000. So there's repairs and potential down payment EMD. And then this particular buyer went above and beyond, went right to my title company and dropped off a $3,000 earnest money deposit. So you better believe I took that buyer very seriously and moved forward with it. So I took him seriously, moved forward. I went ahead and signed the purchase contract with this particular buyer. In fact, I think I just assigned it right over. Yeah, I didn't even do a purchase contract because he was so serious. By the way, I did send him the original purchase contract. I just blocked out the name, showed the address and what I had it assigned, or rather purchase price for. And that's very important. Don't feel that when a buyer asks for that, it's not uncommon. Remember, if they're going to be getting an assignment, they need to know all the ins and outs of what's in that original contract, such as the purchase price, such as the potential close date, what is the inspection period. Yeah, they're going to need to know those things if they're going to be buying this property from you. So I went ahead and got that assignment signed over and made our way towards closing. And I got some information back, like I showed you earlier. Title was good to go. And the interesting thing here was that, um, oh, by the way, if you want to check out the software that I use, it's reiautocomp.com. But what ends up happening is, I'd say maybe halfway through the process, my buyer eventually, got back to me and said, "Hey, I'm good at the price we're at, but I want to be real honest with you. I'm good at the price. I sold it for 215.5, I believe it was. But I'm good with that. But if there's any way you can make some adjustments, I would appreciate it as your partner." Um, the concern is that huge deal going on with the crack. And so his concern was, hey, chances are it's not a big deal, but if I dig it up and there's some other problems, I need to know. So I need to have that price come down, and if at all possible. And I said, I'll do you one better. What I'll do is I'll go to the seller and I'll go ahead and have the seller move the price down by, say, $4,000 or $5,000, and I'll come back and I'll split that difference with you. And that's exactly what happened. I went to the seller. We were 2 weeks out from close, and I explained to the seller in a very simple email that said, hey, everything looks good. Originally, I was concerned about the roof in the front of the den. That was addressed properly. The work was done. But this back bedroom here, this crack goes all the way through there, goes into the backyard, into the sidewalk area to the backyard. That needs to be replaced. And that wasn't something I could address in that first meeting, because the first meeting I went out there, the appointment, I brought my contractor. That contractor just does paint and tile work. So he's not a foundation guy. And so she understood. And I in that email, I explained to her I'd never leave anybody high and dry, and I always come in with a solution. So here's the solution. My quotes were coming in for foundation and some additional repairs at $7,000 to $9,000 higher than where I wanted to be. Originally, when I talked to her cousin, I let her know, look, my flips need to be under 20 grand, and now we're at 27 to 29. That's no good. So we're 9 grand over budget. Now, I'm not going to ask you to come down $9,000, but what I am going to ask you to do is, if you can come down to 208,500, that's a $4,000 or $5,000 drop. We're good to go. So she responded, I can do that, but I'll counter you at 209,500. So I was happy with that. I was very happy with that. I went back to my partner and I said, hey, look, I'll split the difference with you. I was able to place his now purchase price down another 2, 3 grand, and he was happy. So now the outcome of this, let me go ahead and show you something here, is a $4,000 assignment check. So basically, I bought it for 209,500. I sold it for $4,000 more, and there it is. There, I'm cashing it in at the bank, or depositing actually. And here's a better, larger picture of it. As you can see here, September 8th. So I think the whole process was something like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks total. Definitely less than 21 days. That was my inspection period. But total hours of work, maybe 2.5, 3. Here you can see the assignment. There it is. There's my name, Randy, 4,000. There's that 209,500. Pretty awesome. And so that, my friends, is how you do a flip, start to finish. Now, I promised you I'd show you some of those tools again. If you're interested in getting the REI workflow, that's these folders here that you're seeing me go through. That run, my business so much more smoothly. So I know where files and folders are at, and very quickly can give them to buyers or the title company, wherever it may be. I'll put the link to this under the video. I sold for like 27 bucks, best $27 you ever invested in your business. Here are all of the, you know, folders that you get. I mean, the whole kit and caboodle for 27 bucks. And I'll also give you an added bonus of Gmail and how I arrange my Gmail so that I can stay on top of things with my team and everything. REI Auto Comp, just go to the website. The link will be under there. And the deal, by the way, Craigslist, if you want to get deals from Craigslist deal, get them for free. I discontinued a product called 36 RA Lead Hacks not too long ago, and I have a new video out. Go check it out. It's learning 3 highly effective methods to get motivated sellers online with zero cost. So don't think that you have to go and spend thousands of dollars on postcards and things like that. I'm in a very, very competitive market here in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona, right? Maricopa County. Everybody's here, and I'm still being able to do deals during COVID, right? I've got another one I should have a contract on tomorrow from a seller, and when I close that, I will do a deal for you guys on a video for that as well. But this video walks you through a couple different ways to get free leads, right? And you can do the same thing. Contact them, figure out what's going on, go on the appointment, make an offer, get it under contract, open title, go ahead and bring in a buyer, get the assignment going. And that, my friends, is how you do a deal start to finish. Guys, I am so excited to show you that. I'll always make sure that any deals that I have coming in, whether the check is 2,000 or 25,000, I'll share it on this channel. And if you want to get more things like this, make sure that you subscribe. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll be good to go. I always like to say, don't forget to floss. I want you to tag, follow, like, opt in, share, and subscribe. Do all that. Thank you for joining us on this channel today. Have yourself a blessed day.